Okay, let's do a quick review of what we've learned about converting units. So first of all, remind me what it means to convert. What does that word mean? What does that word mean, Harper?
To express a measurement in a different unit.
Yeah, it means we're going to express or change our measurement into a different unit. All right, so when we're talking about the units that we can use to measure things, if I were going to measure length, what's the base unit that I would use to measure length? What is it, Christopher?
Meter.
Meter. Meter is the metric unit that's used to measure length or distance. All right, what if I wanted to measure the weight or how heavy something was? What would I use, Amy? Grams, you're right. Gram is the metric measurement unit to measure the mass of an object. We can also think of mass as weight, how heavy something is. Okay, so we're going to talk about another unit of measurement today. What if I want to measure the capacity of something? If I were measuring liquid, and I wanted to know how much liquid there is inside of a container, what would I use?
Milliliters.
Okay, milliliters is adding the prefix milli. What's the base unit if I take that prefix milli off?
Liters.
Liters. Liters are the base unit. All right, so these are the base units, meters, grams, and liters. Is that what we always use? What if I have something super small, a super short distance? We've got some prefixes that we can add to the beginning of these words, don't we? Yes, sir, Christopher? Centa, we can add the prefix centa. And if I add centa to the unit, how many centimeters does it take to equal 1 unit? It takes 100 centimeters, or whatever unit we're using, to equal 1 of the base unit. What if I were measuring a super large amount? What would I use? Kilo or kilo. Okay. So we know that where centimeters or the prefix centa represents a small amount, kilo represents a really large amount, doesn't it? So how many base units does it take to equal 1 kilo unit? 1,000. So 1 unit, 1 meter, 1 gram, 1 liter. I'm sorry, 1 kilo. Wrote that down wrong. 1 kilo unit is equal to 1,000 base units. All right, we're going to talk about one more. We're going to add another prefix. This one involves small units of measure. And what did you say that it was? You said it earlier, Dylan. What was it?
Milliliters.
Milli. we're going to add the prefix milli to our list. Who knows how many milli-units it takes to equal 1 unit? What you thinking, Jaden?
Maybe either 1,000 or 100.
It's 1,000. A centa is 100. A milli-unit is 1,000. It takes 1,000 milli-units to equal 1 of our base units. So it would take, if we're talking about liters, it would take 1,000 milliliters to equal 1 liter. All right. So let's put these to use now. So we've been talking about whenever we are adding or subtracting units. Can we add or subtract units that aren't the same? No, I can't subtract units that aren't the same without converting or changing them. So let's do some practice. What if I had 32 liters, 420 milliliters, and I want to add 13 liters, 585 milliliters. On your work mat, I want you to solve that. 32 liters, 420 milliliters, plus 13 liters, 585 milliliters. I want you to solve on your work mat as I'm coming around and looking at your work. Remember we said how many milliliters does it take to equal 1 liter? How many? 1,000. Jaden, what did you do to solve this?
What I did is I can't really put together in this square. I can do it in columns.
Okay.
So what I did is I had to put the numbers together and what you want me to tell you how to got?
I want you to tell me what you put together.
I put together 32 liters and 420 milliliters plus 13 liters, well, yeah, 13 liters and 585 milliliters. And I got 46 liters and 5 milliliters.
5 milliliters? Okay. How did you get your 5 milliliters?
Because whenever you're putting when you put, okay, so your 5
Okay.
And then 8, 9, 10. So you put your 0 right there, put your 1 above the 4, and then that makes a 10. So you put your 0 right there, put your 1 in front of on top of the 2, and that makes 6.
Oh, okay. So you're saying this 1,000 moves over here and becomes a liter? Very good. How did you know that?
Well, it's just like the normal putting together.
Because 1,000 milliliters equal 1 liter, right? So we have to move that 1,000 milliliters over. So we have 32 plus 13 plus 1 more. This is really, before we add that one, 2 plus 3 equals 5, and 3 plus 1 equals 4. So we have 45 liters, 1,005 milliliters. But if I break that apart, I would have 1,000 milliliters, which we know is the same as 1 liter. And I would have 5 more milliliters. So I can move this one over, which becomes 46 liters, 5 milliliters. Very good job, Jaden. Ansley, did you solve a different way?
I just put 32,420 plus 13.
So how did you know to put 32,420?
Because 32 liters is 32,000.
Very good.
And
So what unit do we have now? You changed your liters to milliliters. So we have 32,420 milliliters. Okay.
13,585
Milliliters. Good.
and I got 46,000.
Okay. So if we add those together, 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 8 is 10. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 4 plus 5 is 10. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So that's 46,005 milliliters. Did anybody solve a different way than one of those two? Okay. All right. Is one way better than the other? No. What if the question asked us to express our answer in the smallest unit? Which one is the smallest unit, milliliters or liters? Milliliters. So the Ansley's way, that's written in purple, is expressed in the smallest unit. What can we say about Jaden's strategy where we got 46 liters, 5 milliliters? Do you remember what that's called? The liters is the largest unit, but are they all liters?
No.
What's that called?
Convert.
Mixed units. I have a mixture of liters and milliliters, so this way we say is mixed units. We put as many as we can into the largest unit. We did that when we regrouped this 1,000. And then we have some leftover milliliters, so that's called mixed units. All right? Let's try another one. Erase your work map. I want you to solve this. 12 liters, 215 milliliters, minus 8 liters, 600 milliliters. Harper, how did you solve?
I subtracted 12,215 and
How did you get 12,215?
what I thought I took the 12 liters and 215 milliliters and put them together.
Okay, so you made the 12 liters into 12,000 milliliters and then put that together with the 215 milliliters? Okay, then what?
And then I subtracted 8,600.
Okay, how did you get 8,600?
I did the same thing.
Same thing, okay. All right, so when you subtracted,
5 minus 0 is 5.
good.
1 minus 0 is 1. I can't do 2. I can't take 6 from 2. So I had to go borrow from a neighbor. He has 1, and then I made that 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. You can't take 1 from 8, so you have to go borrow from your neighbor. You make that. You make him a 0, and you make the 2, make the 1, and 11, and 11 minus 8 is 3.
Okay, so what unit is that? 3,615 what? Milliliters, very good. How did we express that answer? What's it called? Smallest unit. That is expressed in the smallest unit. All right, I saw another strategy back there. Caden, tell me your strategy. What were you doing?
I pretty much did the same thing. I just subtracted them.
That's what I did.
Well, but when I was walking around, you hadn't changed 12 liters and 215 milliliters to just milliliters. You did 12 liters, 215 milliliters. And you were subtracting it this way, like Jaden's strategy on the first problem. What happened there?
I subtracted them and I got 3 liters and
You got what? Okay, so how did you end up with 3 liters? Because 12 minus 8 is 4.
And the 600 you cannot take 600 for 215.
Okay, so you had to take one of your liters and make it into milliliters. So when you did that, you had 1,215 milliliters. So we're saying that 11 liters, 1,215 milliliters, is the same amount as 12 liters, 215 milliliters. Do you agree with that? Yeah, those are the same amounts. They're just expressed differently, aren't they? All right. So then if we do that, if we do 11 minus 8, we don't have 4 liters anymore. We have 3 liters. If I subtract my milliliters, 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. And I can't do 2 minus 6, but I can do 12 minus 6, which is 6. So we've got 3 liters, 615 milliliters. How is that answer expressed?
3,615.
Okay, what's this called when we have liters and milliliters?
Mixed unit.
Mixed units. This answer is expressed in mixed units. And the answer written in blue is expressed in what? Smallest unit. All right. I'm going to write down a word problem for you here.
You want us to erase?
You can erase, yes. right, here's our question. Jennifer is making 2,170 milliliters of her favorite drink that combines iced tea and lemonade. If she puts 1 liter, 300 milliliters of iced tea, how much lemonade does she need? She's going to take a couple of minutes to solve this. Everyone solving. Think about what the problem is saying. Think about your parts and think about your total and how you would find what's missing. That's not what you need to do though in the context of that problem.
Are we adding the...
Let's think about this problem. Jennifer's making 2,170 milliliters of her favorite drink that combines iced tea and lemonade. If she puts 1 liter, 300 milliliters of iced tea, how much lemonade does she need? I'm going to draw a picture of a cup since she's making a drink. I'll draw a picture of a cup. What's the total amount that's in her cup?
2,170.
They've got 2,170 milliliters when she mixes the tea and the lemonade together. So that's what does that represent? The total or a part?
Total.
That represents a total. So I could also draw a tape diagram to represent it. My tape diagram has 2,170 milliliters total. Okay. So first she's going to pour in what?
1 liter and 300 milliliters.
Of what? Of iced tea. So she's going to pour in some tea. Just going to kind of make that brown because tea's brown. How much is that? 1 liter, 300 milliliters. And then I heard another amount. What did you say, Kaden? The problem tells me 1 liter, 300 milliliters, but I think you said something different. Christopher, maybe it was you. What did you say?
I said 1,300 milliliters.
Why did you say 1,300 milliliters?
Because if you take that 1 liter and make it milliliters, it's gonna be 1,000.
Yeah. Why would it be helpful to make our mixed unit of 1 liter, 300 milliliters into 1,300 milliliters for this problem?
Because that would be kind of easier to subtract.
Yeah, that's because our total is given to us in milliliters. Okay, so we know that part of the drink is 1,300 milliliters, which is also 1 liter, 300 milliliters. I'm going to write those both down. They both represent the same amount, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them both. What else does she use in her drink?
Lemonade.
Lemonade. So she's going to fill from where she stopped with tea to the top of her drink. She's filling with lemonade. Do we know how much? No. I'm going to use the variable L to represent that since that's lemonade. So what did you do? I'm going to switch back to black. I know that yellow is kind of hard to see. What did you do to solve, Ansley?
I did 2,170 minus 1,300.
2,170 milliliters, which was my total, minus the part that we knew, 1,300 milliliters.
I did that because if I subtract those, it'll give me the part.
Yeah, if you subtract those, it'll give you your missing part. You're exactly right. 0 minus 0 is 0. 7 minus 0 is 7. And 21 minus 13.
Wait. No.
One
minus 3 you can't.
1 minus 3
Okay.
you cannot do. So you have to take 1 away from the 2, and that will be 11. 11 minus 3 is 8, and 1 minus 1 is 0. And if you check your work, if you did 1,300 plus 870, it would be 2,170.
Okay, so we could add our two parts, 1,300 milliliters of tea plus 870 milliliters of lemonade. And Ansley says if we add those together, that should equal the total in her drink. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 7 is 7. 3 plus 8 is 11. I carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2,170 milliliters. Is that the original number from our problem?
Yes.
Yes. So the missing part, L, the amount of lemonade, is how much? 870 milliliters. So we wrote 870 milliliters. Our answer is expressed in the smallest units. Can we make it into a mixed unit?
Yeah. That's what I did.
How can we make 870 milliliters into a mixed unit?
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
You can subtract it with the mixed unit.
Tell me why we can't. We can subtract it with a mixed unit. You're right. But why can we not?
We can't make it a mixed unit because there's not 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. There's not enough milliliters to make a liter. It takes 1,000 milliliters to make a liter, and we don't have enough to make a mixed unit. All right. Questions? All right. I need you to open your Learn book.
Can we erase our...
Yes, you may erase your work map.
Okay.
In your Learn book, you're going to work page 155 and 156. Both the front and the back. So remember, if it tells you to express in the smaller unit, what would be the smaller unit? Milliliters. If it tells you to make mixed units, what will you do?
What, like liters and milliliters?
Liters and milliliters both.
156 and 156.
Page 155 and 156.